What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we're doing the Black Ops 7 beta review. Alright, this is my first ever review for any video game. This is my first review for Call of Duty, and I want to make it a good one. Before we get into the review, I want you guys to understand something. I am very gameplay driven. I want to talk about the gameplay, the maps, the perks, the kill streaks, all that stuff. I don't necessarily worry about the outside factors of what Activision is doing, what Treyarch is doing. Now, we will talk about skill-based matchmaking, but at the end of the day, I want my review to be about the gameplay, okay? Before we get started, leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Let's jump right into it. First things first, skill-based matchmaking. Now, Activision Treyarch went ahead and added an open mosh pit and the mosh pit. Then they added the hardcore open mosh pit, and they did something weird where they did the open mosh pit, or open search and destroy versus regular search and destroy. I'm glad that they have done skill-based matchmaking, but everything I'm about to talk to you about in this review revolves around skill-based matchmaking. If skill-based matchmaking is in the launch of the game, none of it matters. Do not play the game, do not buy the game if skill-based matchmaking is there, okay? Now, with what's going on with the beta, is it's flawed, right? You have two playlists, and when you're looking at those playlists, most people know what a mosh pit is. They don't know what open mosh pit is. So people are just going to gravitate to what they know. So even though most of us on YouTube, TikTok, streaming, whatever, know what open mosh pit is and read what the game is, the game modes are, and it says minimal skill-based matchmaking, most players don't know that, and they're not going to do that. So even though it's a good step in the right direction for them to have skill-based matchmaking removed as a playlist, it should have been in the game default. So we will have to wait and see what their decision is. But for me personally, since they took off skill-based matchmaking and made the open playlist, I've had a much different time, a much more fun experience. I've been able to use different weapons, I've used different kill streaks, used different perks, and I've had such a good time playing the beta in the open mosh pit. Okay, so again, this whole review revolves around skill-based matchmaking being out of the game. Okay, now let's move into it. Number 2, maps. All right, so now this is where I'm going to get very technical, okay, because as much as I know that most people just want to say that the maps look good, I want to see how they play in each game mode. I want to see what goes on in the modes, to see whether there's bad spawns, bad spawn trapping, bad, you know, like for overload, is there bad points, okay? So with that being said, Forge, all right? Forge had a lot of doors. They've already taken the doors out. Good. I still believe there's too many doors, but that's just me. I'm okay with the update, but I still think that there's too many doors in certain aspects. Now, there is a situation on Domination when you're playing on Forge where if you have the open side, the A side, right, where you have the curve turn, and then you look down and they have the little sign, and then there's the glass window that you can go through, and then A is in the little room. Bad. That spawn trapping side is so bad because the other side spawns on the right, the back side, where they can just run up the stairs and then through the hallway, and they're immediately on top of you. Whereas the other side, you have to run through the office area and then either go through the double doors to get to their side, or you have to cut up into the middle where they have the head glitches, you know, as soon as, you know, on that little like display that's past the window. So Forge, in my opinion, is a decent map. I think they need to adjust some spawns of Domination, maybe even move the A flag maybe somewhere else, so that way the upper part of that side of the map is not too dominant. Okay, moving on to exposure. All right, exposure, hit or miss for me. Like the middle of the lane and then the wall siding of it, that's okay. I don't like the fact that there's so many ways that you can get shot from, because you can still get shot from the window that on that side of the exposure. But like the solar panel side just feels awkward. It just feels like there's many lanes within a lane, and it's like you can run by people and not even know they were there. And the whole goal of that lane is just to get to the middle. There's no other. Once you commit to that lane, you're committing to that lane to get into the middle. And I think that they should have done something different than just copied and pasted the solar panel section on either side. Other than that, then they have hardpoint. Now, they have hardpoint in that one of those points goes into the room up top where you have the door, and then you have there's the little cylinder pole that's in the middle, and then it has the stairs, and then you have the open door that goes to the right. Let's say you go through the sliding door, and you go to the right, you go down the little stairs, and then you're under, the window. That side sucks. If you are trying to get in to that hard point from the sliding door side, you can't. Because the people that are spawning technically farther away can just either go through the door, and now they have an angle where they can watch the door from the stairs and have a head glitch, or they just jump up into the window and now they're in the point. So that hard point needs to be adjusted. It needs to be moved to maybe to the open side past the door or something, but that hard point needs to move. Moving on. Cortex. Okay, Cortex is decent. All right, kind of like it. It grew on me over the beta. The only issue I see is the A and C domination flags are too close. And if you have the window side, the one that has the window, you can literally see the other point. I'm not sure if that's C or A, but you can see across on the side where it has the red cylinders. You can see down into the point, and then somebody can be on the head glitch side and hold the point. So you cannot contest that point if they wanted to keep that point. So I would move that flag either a little bit back or move both of them kind of towards like the middle of their spawns, just to make it a little bit more balanced. Okay, imprint. I got to admit, imprint feels great to me. You can go to the right side and not use the wall jump. You can go to the left side and not use the wall jump. You can go to the middle and not have to use the wall jump. It flows better to me. Yes, there's certain times where you can use the wall jump to your advantage, but it's not the game. Okay? And to me, it flows very well, whether you're playing hardpoint, domination, whether you're playing overload. There's enough space. In overload, the points don't feel like too crazy to get to on either side, and it just flows well to me. Now I think I did play TDM on there, but the map is a little bit bigger, and it just feels like it flows better with all the movement. Moving on to Blackheart. The wall running, this is the map they wanted to showcase wall running. And unfortunately, the side where they have the wall run is just a death trap. It's awkward. It's like either you commit to being in this wide open lane to go to the other side, or you have to go to the middle. And it's forcing you into these wall jumps to be productive, and it doesn't feel good. And especially when you go into the middle, you have this rotating cylinder that's in the middle where sometimes there's a line of sight and sometimes there's not. So you're kind of having to, on a very fast-paced map, make multiple quick decisions that don't feel good. They don't feel healthy for the match. And then on top of that, you have overload. That becomes a spawn trap instantly. If you capture the point, there is literally no point for you to leave it, because you can just stay in their spawn and kill them as they spawn. It's too small for that game mode. So overload doesn't work in that game mode. Domination, I don't think I played domination in there. But other than that, like, hardpoint doesn't play too bad. But overall, the map is to me, it's one of your BO6 with the wall jumping mechanic. And to me, It's okay. It's one of them break break maps for me. It's like one of them Nuketown type vibes where, hey, I just want to run around and not really try hard that much. I could just run around and be whatever, and I don't have to take that match seriously. That's just my opinion. Okay, moving into Toshin. One of the best domination games I ever played in a long time, where it was competitive and back and forth. You have this wall that separates the middle of the map, which is what every map should be based off of, and you have to win gunfights to push past and get into their middle layered building between the middle and their spawn, and it was so good. The only caveat that I would argue is that the train side is so by itself. You have to go through 2 separate vents to get to that side, and it makes it awkward to be over there. Once you commit to that side, you're stuck over there, or you just have to either go all the way around or you have to cut through, and then it's just awkward. You're back basically at your spawn again. So I would ask, them to make more open, sections to where we can get to the middle of the map from there. But right now, overall, it flows well. The train side is just, it's its own lane unless you're playing hardpoint, right? And it's like a useless lane, to be honest. Okay, moving on. 3 weapons. All right. So far, I maxed out the Dravik, I maxed out the M8, I maxed out the Peacekeeper, I maxed out the Raiden, I maxed out the MXR, I maxed out the M15. I know all y'all saw Scump using the M15 and using the, getting all his nukes and stuff. Overall, all the weapons that are in the beta, because obviously there's going to be more at the game, all the weapons in the beta seemed different, right? You knew when you was using the Dravik. You knew when you were using the Razorback. You knew when you were using the Raiden. You knew when you were using the Peacekeeper versus the MXR versus the M15. So, with that being said, the Dravik was clearly the best submachine gun. It's one of those hybrid SMGs where it can shoot at long range, but it can still dominate it close. Okay, the Razorback and the Raiden, very fast shooting weapons. The Razorback has a little bit more recoil. It reminds you of like a Scorpion type vibe. But both weapons are viable close range. If you can get some good attachments on it, it dominates. Okay. The M8 best weapon in the game. Like if you have a decent shot, you're gonna, and you get some attachments on there, because the M8 does have a little bit of recoil, but once you get the attachments on there, you're good. Like the M8 is so good, and to be honest, you need a weapon like the M8 in the game because there's a lot of head glitches. And that is something that is something they needed, especially with the rest of the weapons that are in the game, okay, and the movement. The Peacekeeper, in my opinion, was my favorite weapon. It had a little bit of recoil in the beginning because you didn't have any attachments, but once you get attachments on it, yo, it's like, it's so good. And I know a lot of people like the M15, but the Peacekeeper to me was my go-to. When I needed to like dominate, I was using the Peacekeeper. Speaking of that, the snipers, I didn't use the snipers, but if you ran into people, like 2 to 3 people that were using a sniper, it overpowered. I'm sorry, I don't mind snipers being good because I want people to use different things than the meta weapons, but I also don't want to be getting slid on and jump shot on with a sniper rifle, right? That doesn't feel good to me. Now, did I run into it a lot of the times? No. But the times that I did, it left a sour taste in my mouth. The snipers are a little bit on the OP side. That's all I'll say. I'm not asking for them to be nerfed into the ground, but they're definitely, now this could just be because maybe my movement isn't good right now, and maybe I don't have all the attachments for my weapons to fast aim down sight to counter their speed. But the games that I did play against snipers, and that there's one particular match where I played against 3 of them, not fun. But again, I don't want it to be nerfed into the ground. So overall, weapons feel good. They feel different. We'll have to wait and see all the different weapons. But yeah, overall weapons are good. Number 4, perks and equipment. First off, dexterity and looper need to be on by default. Stop playing around with it. The game is built based off of movement. That is what you want. You want the game to be movement based by adding in the slide, the omni movement, and the jump off the wall jump. Why are you taking those movement abilities and making it clunky to use a perk for it? Just give it to everybody so everybody has it, right? Which then ties into what I want to talk about, and that is speed perks and especially dexterity feel like crutches. If you're not using dexterity, it almost feels like you're putting yourself at a disadvantage when you're trying to maneuver around the map, and then you get into gunfights and you go into attack stance. Like, first off, nobody asked for attack stance. It's just, again, it's an extra step to something that should already be in the game, which is when I do something, I should be trying to aim down sight. If I want to hit fire, I'll just shoot my gun, right? I don't need a third thing. Hit fire, aim down sight. That's it. Make it simple, okay? The other thing about perks in this game is there's so many options of perks, but you can only pick 3 of them. Unless you have perk greed, then you get a 4th. There's way too many perks in the game for us to only be allowed 4 perks, which is why they should bring back pick 10. We won't get into that, not in this video, but at the end of the day, if they had pick 10, I think there would be a lot more variety to the perk system that we could use, because to me, I would rather have 3 more attachments on my weapon than 1 extra perk, right? You know, especially playing in a game where everybody's flying around doing stuff. I need a weapon that can shoot people and delete them quickly, right? And so having that 4th perk doesn't really do anything for me. The specialties of those perks are okay. They're not overpowered like they were in Black Ops 6, especially with all the blue. But again, I think that instead of having a bunch of specialties and all these perks that do one particular thing, they should just combine it. Have a couple perks, 5 in each slot. Have perks that do a lot of stuff, and then let us choose from those perks. Okay? There's a lot that's going on in the game. You have your weapon, you have your secondary. Some people run overkill, so you're dealing with it on a long range weapon, you're dealing with a short range weapon, you're dealing with a melee weapon, you're dealing with a grenade, you're dealing with a tactical, you're dealing with a field upgrade, and you're dealing with kill streaks. There's 7 things that you have to deal with, and then multiply that by 6. There's too much going on for you to only give me 3 perks. Okay? So please, we need to rethink the perk system. Looper needs to just be default. Dexterity just needs to be default. And tactical sprint, just get rid of it. I haven't seen anybody use tactical sprint. Now, again, this may be because, you know, it's the beta and people aren't trying to, you know, run the same perks. But tactical sprint, there's no benefit. If you want to run faster, just use lightweight. Simple as that. All right, number 4, game modes. Okay. The last 4 to 5 to 6 years, they have not had a capture the flag game mode, an uplink game mode at the beginning of the game for 6 years. And I grew up on capture the flag. So I'm coming from a place of having to play domination or kill confirmed or hardpoint where games don't end until the score limit is reached. Okay? Overload is such a refreshing game mode for me that if they have overload and no skill-based matchmaking, I will be playing the game every day. And that is an honest thought. Right now, for me saying this for the review of this game, if that happens, I will be playing the game a lot. Okay? The fact that they combined it, basically sabotage, but then with blitz from Ghost, is one of the most awesome feelings. Then you have the tug of war, where when you die with the bomb, you don't feel like you lost a bunch of progression. You feel like you can make up the fact that you died. Maybe you made a really strong push but then died. The bomb is still where you left it. You cannot reset the bomb unless nobody picks it up. And the fun thing is it's back and forth. and you can end the game as quickly as you want to, depending on, you know, how good they are, how bad they are. If they're not playing the game mode right, that's fine. But you can end the game, you can carry, you can do a lot of stuff. That's awesome. The only caveat that I would say is that there needs to be a much clearer indication on if you're holding the bomb and who's holding the bomb, because it's very hard to see. The only way you really tell if someone's holding the bomb is they're highlighted red more clearly, and it's a little difficult to see. The camo ability in this game mode is very strong, so I don't know, you know, like, I don't know how competitive it's going to be, you know, when you're playing against good players. But when people learn how good it is, it might break the game mode a little bit, just because you can't see people sometimes because they're moving so fast. So we'll have to wait and see. Domination to me was decent on some maps, but overall I think there's just a misrepresentation of what domination is meant to be from the developers and the player base, right? Domination is meant to be a cut the map in half, hold the line, push just a little bit past the B flag, and try to hold on as long as you can, right? I believe that there should be a halftime, right? You should not be able to get spawn trapped and set up for damn near 10 minutes, right? Be a halftime. If you're that good, do it again, right? Give the other team a chance to come back, right? Then the second thing is the maps don't line up. Like I said, Toshin was the best example of a line that was across the middle, and if you wanted to take B, you had to push past B to take it, right? And it wasn't necessarily you push past B and then you spawn camp. You push past B so you can capture it. Whereas, like, if you look at a map like Forge, you don't even have to go to B to get to the other side to spawn trap them. So that's what I'm saying. There needs to be a much more purposeful placement of the flags in domination, so that way there's more competitiveness to it. Number 5, kill streaks / score streaks. Overall, the kill streaks / score streaks were good. There needs to be, though, a little bit more good kill streaks. Now, again, I know that the game hasn't come out yet, but for what we see, there needs to be more mid-tier kill streaks at the end. Like the sniper at 900 is very, very powerful, and a lightning strike, a hellstorm missile should be lower than that, right? Because we need some kill streaks that when you're playing a competitive mode, you can compete with without it feeling, you know, overpowered in a sense, right? And adding a hellstorm and lightning strike, it helps you play the objectives, and that's what I like. The skewer is annoying. It's the hunter killer drone, but worse. You literally call it and forget it, and it randomly kills somebody. Not cool, right? Like, you shouldn't get rewarded for not, like, even with the hunter killer drone, even though you got, like, you didn't have to do anything, you still had to pull it out, and you still had to aim up and throw it. Like, you still had to do something. The skewer, you call out your little phone, you dial it in, and you call it in, you're good, and you get a free kill. They need to get rid of that. They need to add an attachment to where an overclock where it becomes a predator missile or something. Okay. Number 6. Let's talk about gameplay, okay, and just my overall thought process on the gameplay. The game is too heavy on movement. All right. There's too many perks that revolve around movement, too many abilities that revolve around it, too many attachments that focus on movement, right? Why are we trying to make the game focused on movement? That should be the default. Let's make the game more about playing the objectives of the game rather than, hey, take all these perks so you can fly around. Well, what does flying around do that benefit capturing the point on you know, or capturing overload, right? people want to be able to jump, slide, and jump around, right? So like that's the frustrating part. And then tying into that, the lack of objective play. The only way to get anything objectively is when you have Tactician, which is the specialty if you run green perks, where you get faster healing while capturing objective. Well, what about having perks that give you the ability to capture points faster? Now, I will say this. The Echo unit, the hologram, will capture points for you, which is fantastic. So that's pretty cool, but they need more of that. All right, going back to that, stem shot. I know I forgot to say this. This is more gameplay focused. Stem shot is a must use, and they need to figure it out. Like dexterity, it's a crutch. It's a crutch equipment. I use it too because I want to heal. I don't like the fact that the default healing isn't just fast enough, right? If I'm gonna make a move, I should not be able to risk everything because I could turn around and just stem myself. I personally don't like the stem shot. It was okay in Black Ops 4 because everybody had it. Everybody had 150 health. It was the default mechanic. So either have the default mechanic be everybody have the stem shot, or just remove it all in general. Number 7. Headshots and time to kill. Time to kill feels really fast. Okay? Feels very, very fast. And I think that's partially due to the headshots. The headshots are too overpowered. They're too high. The multiplier needs to be turned down a little bit. The gunfights are too fast. Too fast. Okay? So we gotta figure something out there because there's so many head glitches, and as much as I know that there's a lot of head glitches and you would think you would want it, if I'm behind a head glitch and if an enemy's behind a head glitch, we both should be having to hit our shots rather than just getting headshot damage and then us getting melted. Because remember, it's a fast-paced game. I may get into you in a gunfight, take a couple bullets, dip back around the corner. Next thing you know, there's 3 people fucking sliding around the corner and sliding right into me, and then I'm dead because I've taken a lot of headshot damage. Okay? They need to nerf that, right? I should be able to fight back. I should be able to get into a gunfight and it lasts a little bit longer, especially with the movement, right? Because I should be able to outslide people, juke people, do something without getting headshotted in the head. Okay. Number 8. Field upgrades. I know I kind of went a little weird here. Camo. I never really liked camo in video games, but camo was balanced and useful. Okay. It feels something that's rewarding when you get it, and it doesn't feel bad when you die to it, right? And it just feels good for me, so I enjoy it. Squad link, great for team coordination, right? Squad link allows you to earn more score when you're within that squad link. Really good, right? Because a lot of the times you're trying to play the objective, and the only way to get the score is to capture the objective. But if you're playing a game like Domination, it's hard to get the objective, especially if you don't have a good team. So adding squad link is really good. The drone thing is annoying. I mean, it's there. It's very annoying because it literally gives up your location. And so I don't know what they could do. Maybe make it a kill streak. The ammo box is good, of course. Most of the field upgrades are pretty good. They're nothing crazy. Okay. So final thoughts. Here are my final thoughts. Overall, the gameplay is fun. The game loop is fun. I want to play the game. As I'm making this video, I want to play the game. My only worry is that they're not going to bring skill-based. They're gonna bring skill-based matchmaking back to the game. And unfortunately, if they bring skill-based matchmaking back to the game, I will not be playing. So now, the question is, should you buy Black Ops 7 after playing the beta? If you do not like skill-based matchmaking, then do not buy the game. If it is there at launch. If you enjoy skill-based matchmaking and you enjoyed Black Ops 6, it has the same movement with a wall jump, and it's going to have skill-based matchmaking in it, then you could buy the game. But I will also say, ranked play is not coming in until Season 2. The camos do look good. The maps feel good, and we didn't even see all the maps. So, yes, I will try out the game. I have Game Pass, so I didn't buy it. But at the end of the day, if skill-based matchmaking is there at the game, I'm not buying it and I'm not playing it. And I would suggest you two to not buy it either. Okay? Skill-based matchmaking benefits nobody. It just hides the fact that players are going to play the same skill level and have no fun in playing the game. So those are my final thoughts. That's my review on the Black Ops 7 beta. Hopefully all that stuff makes sense. You guys go ahead and leave me your thoughts of the beta, what you enjoyed, what you didn't like. Leave them in the comments below. Again, hit that subscribe button for my first ever review of any game and my first, Call of Duty review. And see you guys on the next one. Peace.